Hello, average gamers everywhere. This is the Irate Pirate, and we have a question on the Naval Action subreddit concerning help with combat. So let's just go through this. Question. I purchased a snow and a trader brig. 16 4-pounders plus 16 6-pounders, percentage plus 6 12-pounders. 44 BR total. My first engagement was a disaster. My snow got almost sunk, and I had to hide behind my brig. For the record, it was against a 15 BR pickle. Now I know it's probably because I'm new here, but how the heck do I make cannonballs go straight? Oh, that is a completely fair question. This comes from hamster number 2195. Love the username, man. Every time I shoot, they went a different direction all the time. 3/4 of my shots hit the sea, even when the enemy was on sight, and I had to check the right distance. Please help. Any tip is appreciated a lot. I feel that. I hear that. Let's get into how to make cannonballs go straight. Because, gentlemen, it does not matter, and ladies, it does not matter how much firepower you have if you do not hit the target. So, let's begin with addressing what a mechanic called dispersion. Righto, let's go into the Pittsdown shop and let's look at medium guns. Alright, 4-pound medium gun has a dispersion, maximum horizontal dispersion, 6 meters per 100 meters. Let's go look at long guns. I want the 4 just so that we're keeping things accurate. 6 meters per 100 meters. That is the same. So dispersion of longs and mediums, exact same. I'm not sure why we have a difference between longs and mediums other than mediums reload a little faster. Let's go and look at what I'm running on my privateer. The 12-pound carronade. Max horizontal dispersion, about twice as bad. So, how do we make cannonballs fly straight? There's a couple things you can do. If you're going to use cannons or carronades, you can load up the gunnery perk. This reduces the cannons and the carronades vertical and horizontal dispersion 5% at one, 7% at another, 9% on the middle option, all the way up to 25% for master gunnery. However, this is a new player, I'm pretty sure, so they don't have 30 perk points. Start here. So you get 5%. It's not too much. There is one other way. This is Master Gun Sights S, and it probably runs 50 to 100,000 credits. It does reduce dispersion by 12%. However, maybe out of reach of our beginner. This is the gray version, much cheaper. I may have bought this for 2 reals. If not, it might have been 9,000 reals. They go pretty cheap. But I want to point out, this is 12%. This is 10%. And if you tack that on with the basic gunner, you're getting 15% vertical dispersion reduction. Now, you notice I'm running carronades. Now, this is when you're a little more advanced and you have perk points to spend. But there is one other option. When you're running carronades, this perk, Brawler, negative 25% to carronade dispersion on top of your gunnery perk. So if you have 16 perk points and you're running carronades, uh, you should think about this because no amount of firepower is going to sink the enemy if you're killing fish. So, let's get into some combat here because all kinds of talk, that's just hot air. The Irate Pirate needs to show you, well, what I'm talking about, and you can judge for yourself. One person mentioned, oh dear, I'm gonna run out of, we'll do this. One commenter suggested that hamster number 2195 needs to get closer. And this is a valid, I want those off the privateer. This is valid. Range is a factor because it's so much deviation per range distance. When you're in a small ship bobbing on the waves, range makes a difference. Now, all right, so we're going to demonstrate what you want to achieve in a small ship. Please take this all with a grain of salt because I do have high-level perks like expert gunnery loaded. Now, I don't have brawler loaded, so my carronades are going to not have that negative 25% dispersion. They're going to have the dispersion reductions coming from my expert gunnery perk and my master gun sights small perk. So not quite as much as I could have, and probably significantly more accuracy than what new players are going to have to struggle with. So on the map you can see the distance we have here to here. That is roughly 100, I believe. I believe it's 250 across the map. I may be wrong because this information is not readily available. And I really don't care because the point is, you're in a small ship. You notice he missed. He missed because what we call wave action. I can line up, have him in my sight, but you want to be about this close when you're shooting. But you also want to wait for the wave to lift him. And my gun crews on the starboard side are very lazy on every single ship. I should flog them to a man. But I need them, so can't do that. We'll spin for the wind here. One of the largest things, one of the reasons you will die fighting the NPCs or the AI is that you are at too great of a range with your little guns. The waves are interfering with your ability to get damage on the hostile, and his accuracy is considerably better. And that is just... Now, the other thing is because you're sailing side to side, if you point your ship at them, you negate damage. So he's going to turn to his left broadside, and he's going to shoot me again. I want him to shoot into my pointed bow. I'm going to slow down, because after he shoots into my pointed bow at an angle into me, I'm going to turn one way or the other and shoot him. That's the plan anyway. Alright. He decided against it because I guess I intimidated him by sticking on his tail. Now you see how our ships are bobbing a lot and leaning. Now AI may not have to depower to hit you, but I certainly do. Come on, dude. I'm doing too good of a job of staying out of his gun sight, so I'm gonna slow down here. If I were gonna rake him, this is what I'd want to do. But I want to slow down. Let's put the sails over this way. There we go. He's gonna get a broadside. Come on, F, get out of the way. Alright. I can hit him. We'll trade hit points. Depower so that we don't kill. He's killing fish. Alright, I got 4 out of 6. That's pretty good. He got... I'm not sure if he even hit. Wave action makes a huge difference in these little boats, and distance does too. This that you see here is about the maximum distance that I would shoot a carronade at. If you get accurate with your medium guns, you can definitely do that. You can make that distance with medium guns. Now, medium guns come with less damage than carronades. Some of those will hit. But, they are more accurate. So, does not matter how much damage the gun carries. If it's easier for you to get the damage with the medium guns, do that. You'll get players telling you what's best to do. Completely disregard that. Whatever you do in naval action, if you perform best with a ship or a weapon type because you like it, you run that ship, you run that weapon type every time because it's what you're best at. Does not matter if another player thinks it's the worst option. You are the captain here. Do not let another captain bully you into thinking that you are somehow less capable because you're not bringing his preferred loadout that he's good at. Alright, he fought, he shot, he's still broadside to me. I'm swinging, he's swinging away, but I'm going to nail him with... I got a lucky fire. Sweet. 4 shots. That's kind of how these little ships are. Our freeboard is low. The waves pick us up. There's going to be times that if I let this video run long enough, you'll see all 6 of my shots go into the water just because I didn't pay attention to a wave and it came up and rose up and interferes with the flight of the ship. Balls. Alright, lucky fire. But the point is, the biggest point in all combat, regardless of if it's NPC or AI, is you need to learn what combat distance is. Alright, he's shooting, killing fish, wave action. I'm lifted, he's lifted, I'm gonna shoot. Alright. I call naval action a decision simulator because when you shoot, the level of your reticle here when you shoot, if you depower, how you maneuver your ship to set up the shot, these are all decisions that you have to learn how to make. You notice that I'm staying pretty much close to him. We're about a ship length apart. On the map, no, the map. Alright, I'm depowering. I expect to get hit here. I don't have my guns up. If he shoots and a wave miraculously saves me, great. He's revealed, and I can hit 5 shots in. That is how little ships work. Stay close. If you're taking too much damage, pull off and repair. Point the bow in. I don't recommend the stern because I have been killed attacking AI and they have raked me or gotten a lucky fire while after raking me a few times. So we're going to switch. He's done a very smart thing, and PvPers will do that too. He has put his strong side to me. But this is just... Alright, now he's going to pull some range. Now you can choose to make a shot like this, and I only got one in. Either because our distance opened up in the short time that I took the tracing shot, or because, you know, a wave came up and protected him. So you really need to get close. When you're in larger ships, there's a combat range that you can make good shots at. There's also angles that you can make good shots at. Now guys, some people will rake, and you'll hear about raking, and we'll get into that another time. Right now, focus on doing the basics. If you're a new player, your basic job is angle into their broadside, and then switch around before they angle away to deliver your broadside to their broadside. See, he's angling away. I was a little slow. And no, I'm not going to take that shot. I'm going to hold it. That's where the decision making comes into play. I know that I'd only hit maybe 1 or 2 out of 6. And you're expending gunpowder and shot every time you miss. So don't take the shot. Reset. Take your time. Battles in naval action are long and extended. If you don't have patience, find another game. This game is lengthy, which is why when I post my solo PvP kills, I give you them full length. If you don't want to watch an hour and a half or 45 minutes of me fighting, I completely understand that. But if you do want to, if you think that you might be able to learn something by watching a full-length, uncut video of me fighting another player, then that's why I post it. My last one, I made a mistake and I got boarded. So I got out of the boarding. And if you're noticing and paying attention, you're at that level, then you're going to benefit from seeing how I got out of that and what I proceeded to do. PvP in this game, as in real life and as in other games, is less about having the perfect gear, PvP when you're on parity, and more about who makes worse decisions. So, he's turned into the wind. All right. I think I've answered your question, Hamster. I will, if I have not, forgive me. Please feel free to hit me up in a YouTube comment, or hit me up in, even join my Discord. It'll be linked in the comments. Let's get the boat around. This could hurt. Nope, killed fish again. Got one. So when you come to a halt and you want to keep going forward in these little boats, don't be afraid to push your square front yard into the wind. Alright. I gotta set this up. It's kind of ranged. And only one hit in. I have 10,000 hours in this game. Now, admittedly, much less than that in little tiny ships like this. However, I will be doing an entire light ships series. Probably not all the light ships in the game, but a lot of them. Because all the ships have different characteristics. I'll go over their loadouts. I'll give you some footage. And the point is, I have to sail them. Even though I have 10,000 hours in the game, I'm max rank. Mr. Zazov wiped my perk points. And I would really like to get back to my 120 perk points if possible. It may only be 100 perk points that we're capped at. I found some information on that suggesting that, but the point is I want my max perk points back. Before I leave you, I want to address one thing for new players. Alright, this is a bad shot. That's my reticle. We have two options on the reticle here. we have fire zone visual. We have the projected, where it kind of rides across the waves, and I don't like. And we have, I believe it's called geometry. And that's where it is, to me, cleaner, and I've enjoyed it more. So that's how you can adjust that. Alright, well, this is supposed to be short. I hope I answered some questions, gave you some good ideas to help you in your endeavors in sinking ships, because that, my friends, is the objective of naval action. Find ships to sink them, and if you're a pirate, you say "Yar" when you take their plunder. Alright, it's mostly harmless entertainment. Hope you've enjoyed. Over and out.